Welcome back, Tug Addicts. Looks like I got my lights off in here tonight, but hold on just 1 second here. I want to go over plastic baits tonight, different ones that I've used, and everybody's got a favorite, and I got containers full of them. But here's what I'm going to try out, and these are some that I've had success with. I showed you the Doa Shrimp right here. Now, I believe if y'all have watched me before, I showed you how you put the wire in, and you cut this about, it's 2 3/4 inches, and you bend this light wire. I don't have the exact weight of the wire. I can let you know later if anybody wants to make a comment. I'll answer the comment on the gauge of this wire. It's offshore fishing wire. Then you bend it in half, and you put a 90 on it, and it really works well. It's hard to keep that hook from getting any grasp, and it won't deter the bite on the fish when they do hit it. Now, I tried that same thing on this ZMan electric chicken, which I love these baits. You just indestructible, but they're softer, and as you can see here, it's very weak. It won't hold up very well. So I'm not a fan really too much of the jig head with that exposed hook. Here in Savannah, it's not bad. We don't have the grass to contend with, but when you get this bait down in Florida, it's tough to fish it where I am on the Gulf Coast down there by Keaton Beach. And because of that, I go to this rig up. I use a keel weighted worm hook, and then I use the screw tab and put it in here, and it lays flush, and it works well. I think if y'all saw my other pieces, the first fish I caught the other day in the cove I was fishing in was 22-inch trout on that bait. Then I switched over to my XRaps. Everybody's been talking about the new color, and they're supposed to be so dynamite. And this is the Slam Shady. This is a 3.5-inch Slam Shady. It looks bigger here, and when I saw it advertised, even though it said 3.5 inches. It's a much thinner bait in profile. Here's another bait here, one of the paddle tail type baits, and as you can see, that one has a much bigger diameter on it, but both of them look larger than they really are here on the computer screen. This one's got a much wider paddle tail, almost about the size of a nickel. It's so wide, and it gives you a lot of action. I've also seen where people have taken this and they're rigging it upside down, and it shows a lot more wiggle in the tail. Whether that's going to be productive or not, I don't know. I'm going to try it. This bait, this is a 3/0 owner hook here with a 1/16 lead on it, and I think it's going to be productive. But even though I'm using a pretty light rig with it, I'm curious as the distance that I can get with this rig. And the reason I'm saying that, down on the coast with that real clear water, I'm an advocate of the farther you can get that lure away from the boat, the better your chances are maybe getting a strike. I've had very few fish come up and hit my bait at the last minute at the dock. I had a big snook one, they almost break my rod doing that, but that's very rare that a trout will come up and strike it at the last second. Now here's that ZMan bait. Now see, that tail is a little more narrow, but it still gives you quite a bit of action. And I like working that and pulling it down in that little fin, let's see here, to make it weedless. So you can't even see the hook there till you turn it this way. And it very easily pops up because of the softer material. But even though it's softer, boy, it's durable. You can't wear it out. I was watching some pieces on YouTube about the Voodoo Shrimp versus the DOAs. Here's the Voodoo. This is it right here. And we're going to be posting a video here in a day or two, and I'll let you know when we have it up, if you don't already see it, with this Voodoo. And actually this particular size here and color, my wife Monica caught a big red on it, and we're going to title this Almost Too Big for the Net. It was a good size red, and what we had to go through to get it in on the airboat. When they want to go around the back of an airboat, it presents a problem, and we'll show you in that video. It's awesome. Now, one gentleman was talking about how well he liked this bait, but the one thing he didn't like about it, if you notice up here at the top, that head is just pulled back. See if I can get it off that eyelet. So what I suggest you doing is taking a small drop, no more than a drop or so, of Loctite, and then pull that thing up over that little hole that's right here, right there, and then glue it down. And it'll make this bait last a lot longer, because once they tear that part up, it's basically done. And these are about, I think $9 or $10 a pop. I bought these two at Academy in Brunswick, Georgia, on my way back the other day. And I can't wait to try those again down there on the Gulf Coast. And when you buy these worm hooks, the owners already come with it on. But if you want to change out, get a packet like this, I suggest you getting the ones that have the little tip right here. I've had them without the tip, and they're a lot more difficult to center up and screw into the head so it's centered like that. That's very important to make it run straight and not be off there. So that little center one, and those are made by owner as well. I don't know if there's other companies that have them or not, but I just happened to be in Bass Pro today and picked those up. And this is the 1/16 3/0 that I used on that smaller Slam Shady. Now, I don't know how productive this is going to be. We'll see. I think we get a lot of overload on all our baits and what to use. When they're biting. One day we had my wife and I got into them on the coast, and we were catching fish after fish. And I said, let's just stop a minute. And every time we catch a fish, let's change out that particular lure. We had 2 separate lures on. We went through 7 different lures and constantly caught fish. They were there, they were feeding, and it really didn't matter what you threw out there. Let's see. We got a comment here. Real Predators, huge fan. Thank you. I've watched a lot of your cleaning videos, learned a lot. Thanks. We're going to be having some more videos coming up here in the next, hopefully 3 or 4 weeks with some other fish, halibut and red snapper and other things that I've got video on. We just hadn't put it together yet. We're working on that video I told you with the big red that Monica caught on that ZMan, and it takes a lot to put a lot of these videos together. These kids that do it, and they put the music and they do all this fancy stuff. They work at that. Trust me. They put out a 4, 5, 6 minute video. It takes a lot of time and editing to do it right, and they don't show you all the time they're on the water and they're not catching a fish. But we're not going to edit this, and there's a reason for it. And when she caught this fish, she'd had 2 or 3 fish on for just a second. It could have been the same fish or other ones like it in the area. But I just picked up my cell phone and started filming. And you'll see in the video what happens. And I have to put the phone down, and you can hear me talking in the background. And there'll be a span in this video. So y'all be on the lookout for that. We'll hopefully have it out in a day or so. If you don't see it on our channel, I'll remind you if you're watching our nightly blog here and tell you to check it out. I want to tell you that's about it for tonight, and I'm gonna go over tomorrow night some other hard baits that I'll have, and what are probably the most 5 popular baits that people like to buy, and I'm gonna go over one of them that everybody seems to catch fish on that I don't, but I will show you one in a couple of days that I make that has been productive for reds. And it all came about by an accident. So be looking forward to joining us for the next couple of days and seeing these different baits and what we use. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and ring the bell and subscribe, and leave the comments and questions. That helps us, have material to work with. And check on our influencer page and website for our knives. We had some good orders going out today. One gentleman, he got 2 or 3 knives, sheaths, and the whole bit. And remember, when y'all go in to buy the knives and the sheaths, there'll be a little wording right under where you check out. We offer up the 3 initials on our sheaths with no charge. So a lot of people don't see that, and I have to end up calling them. And that's the reason we have you to fill out the phone number when you do order, in case there's a problem. We out of stock and don't have it on the site. They were out of stock at that time. But as of now, we're in stock with everything. We just got a few hundred more knives in a couple of weeks ago. So, and our knives come already pre-oiled, and the handles and the knives and everything. It's not like some that you might find like it. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it with you. Don't forget, take a kid fishing, and you can't catch him on the couch. Have a good evening. Tight lines to you.